Another California Guy video with your boy California Guy. What's up, everybody, and welcome to this video. His video is entitled Donald Trump, Muslim Ban, White Supremacy, Daryl Scott. Now, this video is going to be covering Donald Trump's administration and what he stands for in white supremacy and why it's important for black empowerment in the United States. Now, as of late, Donald Trump, as people have been following my videos and people that live in the United States, have known that Donald Trump is now the President of the United States, official. You know, he had his inauguration, yada, yada, yada. But over the last 2 weeks, Donald Trump has signed executive orders on a host of different policies. Now, he signed in a policy to build a wall and to strip money away from sanctuary cities. And also, he had did the Muslim ban. You know, he's banning Muslims from 7 countries. He's accused of being terrorists. Now, all this, people are acting surprised, mainly the foreigners and the Hispanics. They're acting surprised when Donald Trump basically was saying that he was going to do this behavior for at least 2 years. He's been saying this stuff since the primaries. The problem with America today, there's a problem with America. Problem with American people is we do not take things serious. We do not participate in the political process, and we're very unaware. Of the media, mainstream media has made Donald Trump into this caricature of himself. You know, the media to me helped Donald Trump get into power. You know, they helped him to become president basically. Now they're his enemy, but that's another story. But I blame the media. I blame the people. I even blame some of the African American community because everybody sat and they didn't take the election serious. You know, last year, they should have really, and they didn't have to vote for per se Hillary Clinton either. There was many candidates that people could have ran to go up against Donald Trump that would have likely won, but instead, a lot of people complained. A lot of people they didn't ask for what they wanted, so now it's to the point we elected a very dangerous president into the United States government. He's very dangerous. He's taking people's freedom, like I've called it. He's put a Supreme Court judge into power that will basically give the states back their rights as far as law enforcement is concerned and affirmative action. This is the age of white supremacy 101, and you're seeing it with just the Muslim ban, and you're seeing it with the border wall being built. This is the beginning of a new age, and you hearing him subtly talk about Chicago. Also, you hear him say he's gonna, God knows what he's gonna do in Chicago. That means it's gonna be camps in Chicago. So this is the new age of white supremacy going on in the United States. Basically, to summarize it all, and the only reason why people are looking to African American people because African American people they're a threat to Donald Trump. That's the reason why Donald Trump doesn't really per se attack African American individuals in the United States as of yet because he feels that black people have a little bit more power than those foreigners. Well, number one, black people don't, black people in the United States, they're not foreigners basically. Black people have been here for decades and generations. So you really can't just say that I'm going to get rid of black people out the country. But there's other ways of, still pushing a white supremacy agenda in, which was started eons ago. But the foreigners are seeing that, black people have been saying the whole time that there is systematic white supremacy in the United States. Donald Trump has taken steps by putting Jeff Sessions into power. Donald Trump has put not only Jeff Sessions, but he got Steve Bannon, the right wing, pro white guy from Breitbart.com. So this tells you the steps that Donald Trump is taking in order to push a very deep, dark white supremacist agenda, stuff that people have been calling for a long time. Now, black people have to be on the A game. Black people has to start by doing group economics and black empowerment, because that's the only way that we could stand a chance against white supremacy. We need more black empowerment. And less, and we need to get rid of the coons. Coons, you guys got to leave the coons alone. Black agenda has to be for pushing for our own communities and building our own things up. So we got to build our communities up. We need to start getting into banking, financing, real estate, all these different things in order to defeat systematic white supremacy. But again, I noticed that Donald Trump has not yet targeted the African American individuals because he figures black people are a threat. Black people don't know the kind of power they have in the United States. Black people have enough power to influence things. That's why all these steps are being taken to even restrict black people of certain things. But now it's a divide and conquer type thing. They need to separate the Muslims and Hispanics and other races away from blacks, and then do photo ops on TV as if we're pals with the African American people. The administration is trying to show that I have no problem with African American people in this country. I'm gonna read, I'm gonna take underhanded shots at black people, but we're not gonna make black people a threat at this point. Because at this point in time now, Donald Trump has solidified himself for the next 3 years as a racist president. Now that's solidified just with the steps he's taken. But then nobody's going to call them racist because they figure, well, those are just Latinos and those are Middle Eastern people that are getting told to get out. But if he goes into that black zone, then it solidifies him it's going to solidify his legacy as a bigoted president, even though he is a bigoted president, because he's backed by police unions, and any black person that thinks that Donald Trump is their friend, you need to recheck your facts because he is not your friend either. It's just a game that the white supremacists and the Republican Party and some Democrats are playing at this moment to try to mute down black argument. All these attempts is to reduce black power in the United States. And again, if you reduce black power in the United States, then you can follow up with other groups. So black people have power again, and they're a major threat. But the strategy is this time we're going to divide and conquer. We're going to make it look like we're these African American people's friend. We're going to celebrate a lot of their holidays. We're going to embrace them in the White House. We're going to put some coons up there, and we're going to show white people and other minorities that we are tolerant of African American people. When in turn they're not. They're using black people as pawns. And black people are not real. Some of the coons don't realize it, and even some other African Americans, they don't know that they're being used as pawns. If he really wanted to do something for black people, he would try to make it more affordable for black people to own things in this country and push for more black empowerment. If the president of the United States was really down for black people, but he's not. He wants black people to be under systematic white supremacy, and this is the way of doing it without being called a racist. So we're gonna experiment, and we're gonna test these things out against other races of people and see how far it goes. And and it's going far. You have the ban in the airports. It's disrupting all things going. Excuse me. It's disrupting the airports. It's leaving people overseas and everything else. So black people got to be more vigilant, and they got to be prepared for this white supremacist individual. Okay, so I'm gonna end this video off because I'm going into a part 2 video of Daryl Scott the Coon in 2017 Coons. So stay tuned for that video next. Peace out.